I'm ready.
Well, all right, Alan. How's it going today? How was your week?
Fantastic. How are you, Matt?
Doing well, man. So today we're going to talk about why you should use the YPC app in your everyday business.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting.
When I say that, though, what does that bring up for you? And maybe what's
Well,
maybe a question to really frame this is, what is it you're striving to accomplish in your business?
for me, it's an essential tool because the hardest part about networking or connecting with people is what do you do after you collect that business card, or what do you do after you've got that name, or how do you really hand a business card that's not going in the trash? Those are the big questions for me.
Right. And if you're watching this live right now, if you have any questions or comments, just post them in the chat, and we'll answer them. So let me ask it a different way. What's the outcome you're striving for day to day in your business? Generating more leads, getting more sales. What's one thing that comes up for you?
I think all of those come up. In fact, on a daily basis, we're trying to find ways to reach out to more people in the marketplace and create relationships and help them to understand how we can help build their business and do the same thing for them. So we're all in the same game. In our case at YPC, uh, our interests are more on a mass scale, so we're after hundreds of thousands of customers. But most people in the business world are after hundreds, and that's where the tool is really well suited.
So would you say, because we this seems to come up a lot of the chamber stuff, and this guess my philosophy. Do you agree with this that truly in business we all only have really one job, and
Yeah,
that's to get as many people to know who we are, what we're doing, what we have going on, how we help people solve their problems to the degree that they could share our information or give our commercial as good or better than we did.
yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Um, Obviously, you have the fulfillment. You have to fulfill whatever you promise to somebody, but you'll never have to fulfill anything if you don't have people in your pipeline. Period.
Fulfilling what you do, what you're already good at or you're an expert at, that's the easy part, right?
Yeah.
And truly by making it easy, this is where YPC comes in hand every day because it really is a tool that makes it easy for people to find you, learn about you, refer you, connect with you, reach out to you, right?
Yeah, and I think that that entire process is very misunderstood, to be honest.
So
Only a handful of people that I've met are truly masters at building a referral network or making themselves easily found. Only a handful. And those people are making a lot of money, without exception, because referrals come into them hand over fist.
yeah, and
Uh,
rules are really a result of a couple things. Number one is you're top of somebody's mind when somebody they care about has a problem or they're trying to figure something out. That's where
Absolutely.
referrals come from, right?
Yeah.
And then the way we get referred is typically by somebody sharing our information.
Yeah.
And we already talk about this all the time. Nobody is carrying around your business card in your pocket. Nobody.
Yeah. And when I run into that circumstance, when I really want to help a friend, I might go out of the way to dig up a Facebook contact or to scour my own personal contacts and then scrub all the data so I could share something with the person. But YPC makes that easy because it's literally a packaged presentation if it's done right that I can hand to somebody else in seconds,
Yeah.
saving me a lot of time, making it easy for me, and ultimately benefiting the person that I send that referral to, and the um, obviously the contact who gets the business.
Right. And so back to truly, because this is what I believe after you do your job of getting as many people as possible to know who you are, what you do, all of that, Now human behavior takes over, right? If someone that I care about needs something, I'm going to jump through, do mental gymnastics to try to think about who do I know that could solve that problem. And sometimes people even jump through hoops to send them somebody that maybe they just met or don't really know them, but because it would make me feel like I helped you, I'm going to send you, hey, you should call this guy or this lady, right?
Yeah, ironically, it just happened this weekend. Uh, uh, my girlfriend said she needed to fix an appliance, and she's desperate. There was nobody on top of mind other than somebody I hired 5, 6 years ago, and I did a little bit of effort to find those contacts and send them to her. But wouldn't have been nice if I could have sent her something with a presentation and an introduction, how to contact the person, their website. It would have been amazing. But no, I couldn't hand that. All I could do is give her some phone numbers and say good luck.
Yeah, so should we show everybody how that looks?
Yeah, that'd be great.
See if I can get this pulled up here. Share screen. Let me know when you can see my phone. You should be able to see it now.
Yep, perfect.
So what we're talking about is making it really simple for people to be able to share your information. So let's
Will you
see.
tell me what you do as you do that, Matt? Because it just changed, but I don't know how that changed.
So what I'm doing is I'm tapping up here where it says Pro. This is taking me over to the Pro directory. And then I'll be able to scroll through here to look for somebody that I might be looking for. So we can just pull up mine because it's done pretty well, I think. Once you find the person you're looking for, looks like there's a little bit of delay here. Once you pull up their profile, now there's some powerful tools here to be able to help you help somebody else by sharing that person's information. So this refer button right here, if you tap on that, it's going to give you some options.
So you're talking about the little megaphone there?
Tap on the megaphone. It'll pull up this menu, and you can show their QR code. So if you're in person, you could show somebody the QR code, and they could scan it, and it will open up their card in a web view, so they don't actually have to have the app. The other item, which is the one I use the most, is hit send a text message referral. And then I would just put in the person's name that I'm connecting them with and make an introduction right here at the top. And then simply hit send. And when that person receives this text message, once they tap on this app, it's going to open up in a web view that looks something like this. For the person on the other end to learn more about, in this case, who I am. They can easily tap any of these icons to text me, to email, to call me, go to my website. In my case, they could tap on this banner right here, and it's going to take them to a calendar to schedule an appointment with me.
So I notice in this case, Matt, that you don't have an introduction video.
Yeah, so on this profile specifically, if I had a video, there'd be an icon right here to show a video of me introducing myself.
I think that's one of the most powerful features is the 90-second introduction to tell somebody what you do and how you can help them, because they get a touch of your personality and an idea if they want to work with you. There's some kind of vibe that happens there.
Right. Agreed. And then the other thing, which this is really powerful, once you tap on the refer button, you could copy their web address. It's simply a link. You'll see there's the link. And you could text that to them. You could send it in any social media platforms. You could email it. You can do a ton of things with that. And one of the things we were working on this morning to be able to make it easy for somebody to contact somebody, we made a QR code with that link so they could just scan it and access their card. And so if you take the time to create a really good card, basically you're going to end up with a personally branded website. It's going to make it real simple for people to learn about you, for them to when they see your details, your about me, they'll learn a lot more about you. And if you have any prompts in there you wanted them to know more about, and then you make it easy for them to contact you or reach out to you.
So let me ask you, Matt, why should someone use this app instead of giving someone else a business card? I mean, business cards are so easy to hand out.
Well, the reason I think this app is so powerful is because number one, it's in my pocket. And number two, if I'm referring you, Alan, and you've done a good job of setting up your profile, then you're going to tell your story about how you could help somebody way better than I could. And like you mentioned before, you can have the video up here, or you can have a really good about you section that describes what you do and how you help people.
Well, I'm gonna add to that when you hand someone a business card, they really don't have very much information, but basically that representation of a card in print format. It's very, very easy to discard. But if you use the engage function within the app, you create a relationship with somebody and hand them your card at the same time. So you have both. You didn't just throw something in the trash. You actually have a long-term record.
Yeah, if I'm using the app and I'm personally sharing my info, what you're talking about is I'm tapping on the home button. I'm going to come back up here to my profile. I'm tapping on my photo, and then I'm going to tap on the little guy up here with the plus sign. And when I do that, it allows me to put in somebody's name and their phone number. And when I hit look up, it's going to show me if they're in the system or not. And if they're not, it's going to create this card so that I could easily call them or text them. And I use this for follow up. And the other thing is I could send my card over to Alan by just tapping on that button and hitting send. Or if I have multiple cards, I can send a different card. So in this case, you can see this one has a video tied to it. So I could send this card that has a video over to this person that I just barely connected with as easy as a couple things. And then I can remind them what we talked about, what they were looking for, what they were interested in, where we met, really helping them remember our conversation by using this tool.
That's to me, that's phenomenal. It's one reason I would use this any day over handing someone a business card, because when I hand someone a business card, I know that I've pretty much lost that contact.
Yeah, and then whose job is it to follow up?
Yeah, I can't follow up at that point because I don't know if I got a card from them or not. What if they don't have a card, or
right? Because you don't.
Hey, thanks.
And you're the one. If you're the one that's striving to sell your products or services, it's kind of hard to follow up with somebody you don't have your info. So in this case, what we're talking about, you saw how up here I put in Alan and this phone number. Now, when I come down here to my contacts, you'll see that Alan is in there, and I can follow up with him because it created this contact for me to follow up with.
So bottom line is you have a long-term record that you can reach out at any time now, in the future, instead of handing a card out, doing nothing with it. You have something that you can turn around and build a relationship with if you choose. But at least you have the choice.
Exactly. Without this, I mean, I've got to make sure I collect their business card, or I get their number in my phone to where I have it.
Which either one of those cases is relatively inconvenient. And with YPC, you have ways to automate this into a complete messaging platform, or add them to a calendar, or do all kinds of cool stuff like that without.
Yes. I mean, how many times are you out and about and you meet somebody, and then a couple days later you realize, man, I wish I had that person's phone number because I want to follow up with them, and you failed to get it or failed to do it, where What we're showing you today, Rick, makes it super easy for you to do all of that in less than a minute.
So let me ask you from your experience, Matt. I've had my own experience with this, but in your experience, when you ask someone for their name and phone number, have you ever had someone tell you no?
No.
I haven't either. Never. So literally, it takes me an extra 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds to ask somebody when they say, do you have a business card? Or if I say to them, can I send you my card? The very next question is really simple. Yeah, let me get your name and your mobile and I'll send it to you right now. That's it. It takes seconds. And now I have a complete system at my fingertips instead of, oh, I'm going to take this business card home and type it into my Outlook, which doesn't do anything for me, by the way, other than giving me, it does give you a record after you've done data entry at home at your inconvenience, but it literally automates.
That's just adding more work when if you're just utilizing this tool to be able to put people in there into your contacts, like your pipeline, it's pretty simple to know when you go in there and look, okay, oh yeah, I need to follow up with that one today. I can call him or text him.
And even better, if you automate that process, wouldn't it be nice to be able to do that exact same process and within seconds, that person you connected with just received an email from you saying, hey, it was great meeting you. Here's the resources I talked about. Go ahead and peruse that and we'll talk in a week. In fact, you could even say, I'd love to meet with you again. Would you click here and set an appointment that's at your convenience? We can talk. To me, that is ideal way to automate my whole process of meeting someone, connecting, and building my business.
Absolutely.
And if you could do all of that seriously within seconds of talking to somebody, not within seconds, but with a few extra seconds of work, i.e., what's your mobile phone number and your name, it's done. You might have to ask for their email, but in any case, you can create a complete system that brings that person in and helps you to nurture and build referral sources and leads, an entire business model around a very, very simple process.
Right. So if you're watching this video and you've got questions or comments, post them in the comments below. We'll answer those. And if they're a really deep question, we'll do that on a future broadcast and kind of take a deep dive on how we could utilize these tools to make it easier for you. Anything else you got, Alan?
No, that's really it for today. That was awesome. Thanks for inviting me, Matt.
Absolutely. So if you don't have the YPC app yet, just go to joinypc.com and create your free profile and start connecting with other professionals today.
Fantastic. See ya.
See ya. Have a good day.